Hey guys, this video is a top 10 list that I've compiled all by myself from things that I wish someone had told me when I started running 7-ish years ago. It's not a list that I've compiled by looking at other top 10 lists. It literally is stuff that I've put together that should really help you out. Let's get straight into this. Hi guys, if you're new here, I'm Shanebow. I make running and running tech videos, so if you like that kind of thing, press subscribe. So I've signed up for my 3rd London Marathon next year. I have a space, I'm really excited. And I'm also currently reading this book just here. I've also signed up to do my very first ultra marathon next year, which is really exciting. It's going to be 100 kilometers. It's Race to the Stones, if you've heard of that one. I'll do some future videos about that. 7 years ago, I never thought I'd even run a marathon, let alone 3 and doing an ultra marathon. And I think that's the amazing thing about running as well. So let's get straight into tip number 1. So do not leave the house at full speed. It's something that I used to do time after time after time. And I used to find running so difficult and almost unenjoyable as well. So what you want to do is leave the house and gradually build up that speed and think distance, don't think speed, especially when you're starting off. You're not going to want to hit a great big fast pace. You just want to hit a really good distance. So go out, gradually build it up, and you don't have to run at your full speed. Definitely not when you're first starting out. The best thing to do is make sure that whilst you're running, you're still able to hold a conversation. That's a good sign that you're getting enough air in and you're not going too fast. Do not worry about what other people are thinking, especially other runners. If you are out running, I 100% promise you, you are a runner right now. I used to get a little bit hung up sometimes about what other runners might think of me, especially when I wasn't going that fast. But I can promise you for sure now, other runners will really respect you for all of your efforts. One of the things that I've really learned as well from doing long distances is to have a real humility around other people's journeys from how they're starting off, because it's not always an easy journey when you're starting off running, but also what other people are actually up to. Other people could be really good runners and they're out of breath for a reason, or they're just walking for a real reason. They might have just run 20 miles and they're just getting their breath back, or just having a bit of a break for 5 minutes before they do another 6 or another 10 miles. Or it might be that someone's just run flat out for 10 minutes and they're just getting a 2-minute rest in before they do another 10 minutes again. So get out there, know that you're a runner, and really enjoy the journey. Nutrition is really important. I'm not going to go into any major detail on nutrition in this video. All I will say is press subscribe, because I will have some good nutrition videos coming up in the future. But what I definitely will say is make sure that you're getting your carbs in, you're getting your protein, you're hydrating yourself properly, you're getting your vegetables in, and you're doing something around your recovery afterwards. So the few little bits I will tell you is, if you're going to go out for a run, make sure you've eaten a couple of hours before, just to make sure that you've got enough fuel in yourself. Don't eat too close to your run either, because you could get quite a bad tummy doing that as well. And make sure after your run you have a recovery in place as well. I personally love a banana, and I make sure that when I've stopped running, I end up by my favourite supermarket, and I literally will just go in and buy a banana and eat that banana on the way home. And what I used to do at the start as well, just to save some money, is I used to just have a nice chocolate milkshake when I got in as well, because you've got a good carb and you've got a good protein intake just there as well. Don't obsess about the stats on your wrist or your phone, especially while you're running. So I went for years and years pulling out my phone all the time before GPS watches were affordable, and I'd constantly be looking at my pace, how far I'd gone, what my time was, etc. And I'll be honest with you guys, it was literally only last year when I stopped doing that. And it was basically a podcast I listened to, and someone said they'd run a race and they'd actually put some tape over their watch so they could not see it at all. So the penny dropped with me, and I just thought, do you know what? Sometimes I'm looking at my watch thinking, oh, I'm going too fast, oh, I'm going too slow. But what I'm doing there is I'm kind of setting my own limits about what I can do. So I went for a really long run and I didn't look at my watch at all. Obviously still had it running because I wanted to look at all the metrics after. But what I ended up doing was running a lot faster than I probably would have done, because what I was doing is I was just running by feel, not by what I thought I should be running at. So definitely there's some great information to be had there. I wouldn't say don't look at it at all, but what I would say is sometimes, maybe once a week or so, don't look at your wrist, especially if it's a speed workout. Just go for it and see how you get on and study those stats after. You might really surprise yourself. And just while we're talking about looking at things, just as an added thing, don't pay too much attention to Instagram, what other people are up to, how many medals other people have got. This is your journey, so set your own goals and make sure that you're happy with what you're doing, because that's all it matters to at the end of the day, is what you're happy with. So really make running part of your life, and then that way it'll be a lot easier to build up a routine as well. So try and work out which nights you're going to go out running on, and then make sure that you're free on those evenings and other people know that you're going to be running on those evenings or mornings. Make sure that your Facebook is set up so you've got likes on pages like Runner's World and anything else that's running related. So when you're checking your Facebook, you're seeing running, and it's constantly in your head, running through your mind, which is absolutely brilliant. There's some great Facebook groups to join. Have a look on Reddit as well, and other forums where you can join other groups where you can share information and find out other people's motivational stories. But more than anything else, just really integrate running into your life. That way you're not going to fall out of love with it because it's around you all the time. Find your motivation. This is a really, really important one. Find your motivation, fixate on it, and make sure that you build that motivation as well. There are so many reasons to run. It might be that you want to keep fit, you want to fundraise, you want to win medals, you want to just go out running with your friends. It might be that you want some time to yourself. There are so many reasons to have some motivation for running. So I will quickly tell you my motivation because I've never spoke about it in any video before. So basically 7 years ago, my wife and I decided that we were going to have our first child. And all I wanted to do was make sure that I was going to be fit when my children were going to be in their teen years. So I picked up running as something to do. So yeah, it just kind of went from 2-3 miles into 4.5 miles. And then one day I ran 7 miles. And then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to enter a 10K. And then the first 10K I entered, I absolutely loved it. And from there, just everything just changed. My motivation just wasn't my kids anymore. It was enjoyment. It was the odd medal here and there. And it was just such a big thing. So you may have seen this in the background on some of the videos from summer this year. This I won. I'm really proud of this. It was a family sports day. This was the cup for best adult. So from the point of view of being able to keep up with my kids and inspiring my kids, this means the absolute world to me. So your motivation, it will change, but it will drive you. So work out what your motivation is. And when it's cold outside or it's raining, think about your motivation because you're still going to go out for a run. Vary your training. So one of the things that you should definitely do is not just stick to the same loop at the same speed, because over a period of time you're not going to improve your fitness because your body's just going to get used to doing the same old thing. So what you want to do is go different distances and go different speeds. And what you can do, which I like to do, is what's called fartlek training, which is basically speed play. So what you're doing is you're choosing your own thing. So you might want to do 2 minutes faster, then 2 minutes slower, then 5 minutes faster, and then maybe 4 minutes slower. But you're just playing around. What your body's going to do is it's just going to get used to recovering all the time. And then within that, the next day, you might want to do just a slow run, just to recover, and then maybe the next day a longer run. The one thing that is also recommended to do is cross training as well. So go for some swimming, go for some cycling, do some HIIT training and things like that. I got to be honest, I'm not great at doing the cross training because I just enjoy running so much. But what I am very good at over the last couple of years especially is varying the running that I do throughout the week. And I pretty much will do different kinds of runs all the time. And the other one as well is look at some hill runs as well. I've started to really enjoy those over the last couple of years, but definitely vary your training because it's going to really help you out in the long term. So my last tip is definitely the biggest tip, and that would be set yourself a shorter term goal and a longer term goal. Because like I said earlier, I absolutely loved that 10K and it just changed everything for me. So think about maybe signing up to a 5K in a few months' time or a 10K in maybe 6 months' time as your shorter term goal. And then for your long term goal, put a half marathon in there, or maybe a marathon, or go crazy and go for an ultra marathon, because having that goal is really going to drive you, and it's going to give you something to talk about to other people. And when you're talking to other people about things, you're almost semi-committing with yourself there as well, which is a great thing to do. But not only will it give you something to drive for, but it's really going to challenge you in a really great way as well. And you're going to experience something new. And you know what? You're going to go to a race and you're going to enjoy your 5K, your half marathon, or your marathon. So I've got some more videos for you coming up in just a minute to choose from. I think one of the great things about running is you don't really know what's going to be down the road in a few years' time. It's really, really exciting. So really focus on what you're doing. I'd love to hear your stories below on your running journeys. And also if you've got any other tips, because there are loads of top tips for new runners, what do you wish you had known when you started to run as well? Guys, if you've enjoyed the video, please press subscribe. There's loads more coming up like this. And thanks loads again for watching.